Hey everybody, it's Chris and Des Show. I'm Chris.
And I'm Des.
And today we're going to talk to you about the new Steven Spielberg, new Meryl Streep, new Tom Hanks, all these gigantic people in it, film The Post. Des, what'd you think?
Okay, so this movie is about the time in our history that led up to Watergate. And
Well, it's not really about Watergate. It's more about
Watergate.
The papers, the Pentagon papers that hid all the stuff that was happening in Vietnam. That's the key.
Right. But it was before. So Nixon is still
President.
All that stuff is still going on. Watergate has not happened yet. And it's all this angst about whether or not the Post should print the information, and because the New York Times already got it, and they're being stopped by the courts, and what should they do? It was an interesting story. And I loved, what was that movie last year? Spotlight. I really loved Spotlight. And go ahead.
Go ahead. I was say it's not as good as Spotlight.
I agree with you
about
that.
Said,
yeah. But it's the same genre in that it's about the newspaper and how the newspaper gets the story. So I knew it was a similar situation, and so I was in from the beginning. I'm like, okay, so what's gonna happen? What are we gonna learn? What's gonna discover? And it's not quite the same, because that's what I loved about Spotlight, is the revealing of the story. Mm-hmm. Whereas this isn't that so much. It's more about this company is a newspaper, and they're having this drama within the newspaper instead of the newspaper doing their job and learning the story, which I preferred that a little bit more. But it was really good. Meryl Streep is amazing. Tom Hanks was so good. The directing was wonderful. I would recommend to go see it. Absolutely. It's great story. What did you think?
Yeah, I definitely want to say I really did like it.
I liked it.
How Meryl is fantastic always, and Steven Spielberg is a great director.
I feel like I watch it again.
And Tom Hanks, to me, was the best. I thought he was so good. I love Tom Hanks. But Sarah Paulson was good, and Bob Odenkirk, and Tracy Letts, and
Sarah
Bradley
Paulson
Whitford.
has one scene in the middle that just gets you, right? She's really good.
They're all good. The thing that got me is it's not. Here's the problem. Here's why it's not as good as Spotlight. It's not as well written. It's the writing is the problem in it. And not there's anything wrong with the writing per se. It's a little heavy-handed, like over and over, like, hey, look, people in the White House are trying to suppress the media. Yeah, wink, 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 wink.
Definitely felt like it had
an
agenda.
Okay, like we get that, that's fine. But if I'm trying to make a movie, strictly this movie at this time period, then me winking all the time is taking away from that for me. Yeah. And that, to me, was the troublesome part of it. I went with my sister and her boyfriend, and they actually didn't like it that much. They were like, I didn't really think that was that good. I'm like, oh, wow, okay. Because they didn't really like the story in general. They're like, it was before us. It was before me too, but I still knew. But I love history, and I knew the story, obviously. But I don't know. I could feel that. The writing was a little like, we're trying to tell you something again. And so those times, even the Sarah Paulson time where she has that really good scene, that scene never really happened in real life.
Yeah. Oh, no.
It is to be like, look at this statement we're making about women in the workplace. Like, okay, I get that. I got it. Look at this thing we're saying about the White House, about First Amendment, and I'm like, okay, I get that. So that to me took me out of the story, which Spotlight doesn't have any of that.
Right, yeah.
Spotlight, you're like,
you're
woo,
in.
Boy.
Well, there's more. I felt like there was more that happened in Spotlight. Yeah. So there was more to be revealed, and it was better storytelling.
And
just better storytelling.
And sorry we can compare it to Spotlight, but it is similar.
It's similar, yeah.
But it also, like, I left Spotlight not thinking that the Catholic Church was bad per se, which it could have been telling you that the whole time.
Oh,
like,
right,
look how bad, look how bad, look how bad. It was like, whoa, there's this huge cover-up, and a lot of bad people covered up a lot of bad stuff.
Right, absolutely.
We're not saying religion's bad or God is bad or this is bad. We're just reporting this thing.
Telling you what happened.
That feels so much more authentic and newspaper-ish to me than the writing in the post, which seems like okay sometimes.
Well, didn't Steven Spielberg too kind of put this on the fast track? Like, that was what I heard in the news, that he wanted it out by Christmas. Like, so he shot this movie, he did it, and he just got through it and went really fast. So maybe that's part of the lack of writing.
And it looks beautiful, as a Steven Spielberg film always says, super glossy and pretty, and the costumes and everything are great, and John Williams did the music, and so it's very good. But it is, like, we were talking about I, Tonya and Lady Bird and The Shape of Water, it didn't fit into that level of good for me.
I get it.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, totally.
Those movies I walked out of, I'm like, oh my gosh. I
the whole world has to see this movie.
The Shape of Water, I already saw twice because I was like, I gotta see this movie again. And I could see Lady Bird again in a second, and I could see I, Tonya again and laugh my head off. And so, so that's it. I will say it is a good movie, though. Don't get me wrong. It is.
I think I would like to see it again, but maybe just one more time.
Yeah. So there you go. Yeah. That's what we thought. But go see it, especially if you like Steven Spielberg, or you like to know more about this time or the post in general. So there you go. Yeah. Bye.
Bye.